Sometimes I have hope in the gaming community. We've been dealing with so many shit games for so many years. I mean, every single game comes with either a battle pass or microtransactions or pay to win. And then I'm swiftly reminded that most of you only play AAA games and Call of Duty and Madden and NBA 2K. On December 7th, we were provided with the Game Awards. This is essentially the Oscars for video game developers, the voice actors, the people who produce the music. The awards are handed out based on votes from both fans and media outlets. And this year, just like every other year, they announced the Game of the Year. The games nominated this year were Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and Resident Evil 4 the Remake. They also hand out plenty of other awards such as Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Performance, Best Action and Adventure, even Best Mobile Game. And the one thing that bothered me this year was just how many people were upset that Spider-Man 2 didn't win any awards. More specifically, it didn't win Game of the Year, and some people are also upset that it didn't win Best Performance. It's 2 a.m. and I have work at 6 a.m. I'm laying in bed, doom scrolling TikTok just like the rest of you, when I see over and over again the exact same reactions from all of these creators. So I'm gonna stand here by myself in my garage and tell you exactly why Baldur's Gate 3 is not only better than Spider-Man 2, but it's one of the best games in this generation.
Tell me right now. Have you ever played Baldur's Gate 3?
And the game of the year is Baldur's Gate 3.
Bro, this shit rigged, dog!
I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of people that just stick with their handful of games. And that's perfectly fine. And that's okay. And you're more than welcome to buy your same Call of Duty, FIFA, Madden, NBA 2K. They've been making the exact same way ever since you were a dream in your father's eye. Just know that your Game of the Year is not going to be something that's so heavily weighed on microtransactions and battle passes. And I'm sure your first question is going to be, have you actually played Spider-Man 2? Now, have you actually played Baldur's Gate 3? I've beaten both games. In fact, I've 100% completed Spider-Man 2. And you know what? I loved Spider-Man. Anything from swinging through the city, webbing up bad guys, flying. It was everything it needed to be. But Baldur's Gate?
Boundless. Timeless.
But mother flipping, booty smacking, vampire loving, BG to the fucking 3? It was like breathing for the first time in years. I haven't played a single Larian Studios game my entire life, but this game was next level. Anything from the story, the voice acting, the music, the map design, everything was almost perfect. Spider-Man 2 brought a feeling of nostalgia. It gave the same feeling that the Arkham series gave and the God of War series gave to us. It once again brought to life characters that we all hold very dear. These are characters that a lot of us have grown up with, and so to see them and play with these characters means a lot to us. But those fans that are rejecting Baldur's Gate 3 and saying that Spider-Man 2 was the better game don't quite understand that every single character, which is multiple of them in Baldur's Gate 3, gave you the same exact emotion and same exact feeling that just Peter or Miles would have given you. Baldur's Gate 3 gave you individual characters with real choices and real outcome. I'm just going to give you guys the cold, hard facts. Spider-Man 2 took 12 to 15 hours just for the story, and 35 to 40 hours to 100% the game. Now, we all know that's not very long for a $70 game. Do you want to know how long it takes to beat only the story in Baldur's Gate 3? Go ahead, guess. No. Go ahead and guess. I'll give you a second.
Wrong.
56 hours. 56 hours of only story. That's it. You don't do anything else. You just play the story mode. You know what's even crazier than that? It takes 144 hours to 100% the game, which doesn't even really seem possible when you actually play the game, because there's like 1,000 different ways to complete it. The amount of time I took trying to seduce a demon woman in Baldur's Gate 3 is at least twice the amount of time it took me to save all of New York in Spider-Man 2, just as God intended. 15 hours of story mode for a $70 game is just not enough. I probably spent at least 15 hours trying to decide which preset and customization for my character I was going to choose. And yes, you know exactly which preset I'm talking about. If you didn't choose number 4, you're weird. Spider-Man's story missions and side missions are extremely linear and predictable. Baldur's Gate is based on Dungeons & Dragons, meaning that every single decision that you make has multiple outcomes. Rolling a 20-sided die will be what determines your fate the entire story. Do you want to rob someone? Then you better hope the Larian gods are with you. Want to convince somebody not to fight you? Better not roll a 1. Do you want to collect 1,000 barrels and blow them up all at the same time to make your GPU into a homemade bomb? You can do that. You can play the game how you want to play it. While Spider-Man 2 expands on an already told story of a character that many Americans have loved and cherished in their childhood, Baldur's Gate 3 lets you write the story and tell the story the way you want it to be told. I currently have 3 games going at the same time right now. There's not a single game that has played out exactly the same.
What in the sweet hells were you thinking? Activating that blood
Makes me a better Spider-Man.
There!
One of the big arguments at the Game Awards is that people think Yuri Lowenthal should have won over Neil Newborn for the best performance. Yuri is an incredible voice actor and he deserves all of the praise that he gets. But sadly, when you have a game as big as Baldur's Gate 3, you're left with a lot of chances for the voice actor to express their talent. Neil Newborn has at least 5 hours of just dialogue. We're not talking about 5 hours of cutscenes. We're not talking about 5 hours of screen time. We are talking about at least 5 hours of non-stop talking. Remember when I said about the gameplay hours for the story mode in Spider-Man 2? That means Neil Newborn was talking for a third of Spider-Man 2's entire story. Yuri acted his webbed ass off in Spider-Man 2. He showed a lot of really raw emotion, but when you compare it to Baldur's Gate, they have more than just 1 or 2 good voice actors. They have 6 at the minimum. Each character has a fully fleshed out story. Each character has more than one ending to their story. Overall, throughout the entire time you're playing the game, you just build a deeper connection to Neil's character than you do Yuri's character. It's ad time, baby! What's up? I'm super excited to announce this video's sponsor, Techweeb. If you're like me and love deep diving into games, anime, and cutting edge tech, then Techweeb is your all-in-one hub for enthusiasts by enthusiasts. It's not just a website, it's a community for folks who live and breathe this stuff. And a large Discord community for you to join and hang out with other gamer weebs like you. Techweeb brings you the latest in game reviews, anime news, and tech insights. They've got everything from deep dive articles to quick updates that keep you in the know. Plus, their website is super user-friendly, perfect for catching up in between gaming sessions or anime marathons, even on the go. We've all missed the unbiased, honest articles of the past, and Techweeb gives us just that. Real reviews done by real people that have either watched, tested, or played what they review. So check out techweeb.com after the video. The link for the website will be in the description. Now back to the video. Okay guys, everyone ready for this? Are y'all buckled in? Baldur's Gate 3 has better game mechanics than Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 has very fun game mechanics. Between the swinging and the new abilities that you can use, and when fighting boss characters, you feel very immersed in the game. But you basically just press square a bunch, and then sometimes you press circle. In Baldur's Gate, you have almost an infinite amount of ways you can handle any fight. You have dozens of spells to choose from, a mega ton of items to use, and you can plan the way you attack before the fight happens. You can run in head first, or you can take your time and plan your attack. Each hit that you deal to them or that they deal to you could also be deadly. It truly feels that you could fight the same enemy 10 different times. Not a single time will it play out the same. Sure, I know those of you that haven't played turn-based games are like, oh my god, turn-based games are so lame. Trust me when I say, when you start casting spells, turning into owlbears, and you start shoving people off of cliffs, you'll never look back. You can play the entire game just smacking people with sausages. Yes, like real sausages. There's classes and subclasses that also let you change how you play the game. Some fights might take you 30 plus minutes, but when you win that fight, damn does it feel good. When you win a fight in Spider-Man, you're just like, that was cool. When in Baldur's Gate, it's like, I came completely prepared and nothing happened the way I expected it to. While I know I've spent most of my time praising Baldur's Gate 3 and bashing on Spider-Man 2, I do understand that Spider-Man 2 not winning a single award is a hard pill to swallow. I enjoyed my time playing Spider-Man 2. Swinging through the city alone is enough to give the game praise. Not to mention its own unique telling of Peter and Miles' story. The series has been nothing short of amazing. Even so, Baldur's Gate 3 is not just some random RPG. It's a game that's setting a new standard in this generation. No microtransactions, no paid DLC. The game launched completely made, and Larian Studio listens to their community. Shortly after the game's release, they dropped plenty of updates that we had been asking for. This game was so impactful that it had other AAA studios shaking their little booty wooties because of just how good the game was. You had developers on Twitter arguing that we shouldn't expect this type of game from them. So when a game is so good that other developers are saying, there's no way in hell we'll ever make a game this good, don't expect this from us, then you know you have a good game on your hands. I hope that those of you that wanted Spider-Man 2 to win over Baldur's Gate 3 learned that just because it's a different game doesn't mean it's a bad game. As we're the ones that's consuming the game and playing the game, we have to demand these types of changes that Larian Studios has made for their game for the remainder of our other games. If you want to still play these Battle Pass hungry, microtransaction hungry, unfinished games for the remainder of your life, feel free to do that. But as for me, I would rather have another Larian Studios give us a complete game for $70 rather than pay $70 now and then be asked on a survey later if I would pay $100 for an expansion. Games like Baldur's Gate 3 should be the new standard. This should be the game of the year. Also, maybe some of us do want to cuddle a bear. Guys, he's a druid. It's totally normal. It's okay, Noel. If you've made it this far in the video, you're a madman, and I appreciate you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, do all that fun YouTuber stuff in the bottom, and maybe check out one of my other videos. All right, see you later.